following is a special spotlight on the local arts scene from your partners in the arts, Ithaca's alternative WVBR.
The next production at Kitchen Theater Company's 35th season is King James by Rajiv Joseph. Here to talk about the play, our director Margarett Perry, and actors Darian, Dauchan, and David McElwee. Welcome, everybody.
Hey!
Hello.
Hey!
So let's get one thing straight here. The title character, is this like the King of England and Scotland in the 16th and 17th and 18th centuries that we're talking about?
No, it's the only king that matters, LeBron James.
The future king of the United States of America.
Okay.
It's so funny, though. People keep thinking that I'm doing like a Shakespeare play. It's like, no, it's King James. It's about,
I had people think I was doing a Bible play.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But no, it's a basketball play.
Why should people who may not know or even care about basketball see this play?
Well, because it is a bromance to end all bromances. It's great. We don't often get stories about men's friendship. This is about two guys who bond over a package of season tickets. They meet, and it takes us through 12 years or so of their friendship, which is tied to the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James's comings and goings when he went off to Miami and then he came back, and it takes us through all that time from his rookie season until he won a championship.
I would also add to that, the universal theme of it is about, two people connecting over something that they really, really are passionate about and that they love. And I think everybody can relate to that. So if two people were into like fishing, right? And they got passionate about fishing and they went fishing together and their friendship blossomed from that, then that's kind of what's happening here. And that could be with, with movies. That could be with K-pop. It could be with anything. And then in this particular play, it happens to be sports, and it happens to be basketball and LeBron James.
And I always want to see a play that's about people that I don't understand, and maybe I can learn to understand them a little bit more. So maybe if you're not a basketball fan, and maybe you know someone who is, maybe this play will help you understand that person. Because I think we should be celebrating, especially with men, friendships and rituals and reasons to get together, get out of our house, get off the internet, and get to know each other.
This is a great play to bring sports people together with theater people. It really is like this beautiful marriage of just a really good play, but all this like fun sports stuff.
Yeah, and sports and theater people are doing the play.
That's right.
We have sports fans working on the play, and we're all very much into it, and a huge LeBron James fan. Here, I didn't like him because, of course, I'm a Lakers fan, but then he came to my team, so now I love him. Traitor.
Can we talk about that for a second? Loyalty, betrayal. Do those things rear their head in this play?
It certainly comes up in the play. I mean, what does it mean to be from a smaller market? What does it mean to be in Cleveland? What's the loyalty towards a smaller market town or a hometown?
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels that start to happen in the piece about loyalty to each other, loyalty to the team, loyalty to LeBron and the decisions that he's making, and how that is in parallel to these two characters and their own growth as men. And so that comes into play a lot, this idea of loyalty and betrayal and status. All those things are in the mix as these two kind of grow up.
The characters are growing and changing and making changes in their lives. Then you start with any friend. If you have a friend that decides, I'm going to move to New York because I need to blah, blah, blah. And you've been friends with them your whole life, and now you feel betrayed because they're taking off, but they're trying to do what's right for them. But there are repercussions in a friendship. And I think solid friendships go through all of that and make it out on the other side. But you have to accept changes in the other person.
Yes, because maybe for you, it's politics. Maybe it's religion. Maybe is there something in your life that you feel maybe a bit uncompromising about? And how does a friendship last through moments where you do have to compromise? How do we take those moments with each other and just not say, you know what, I'm done with you, but how do you work through it and find yourself on the other side, maybe happier because you have decided to learn, to listen to somebody else, to change your perspective?
How does this friendship not fall apart?
Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you have to watch the play and find out.
Depends on the night you see it.
No, I mean, because there are a lot of ups and downs. Let's say that their friendship is truly tested in many ways, and I think a lot of it has to do with holding grudges and being able to let go and being able to call a friend out when maybe they're saying something that is inappropriate, and maybe when to fall back. I think those are the things that are happening in this piece, and I think these two friends are tested in that way as, again, they're growing into their manhood.
And the question of, too, can you have an imperfect friendship? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Would you say that money figures into this play at all in terms of people's motivations? Do you think these two characters have to negotiate monetary kinds of things?
I saw a T-shirt at the Apple Festival a few weeks ago that said "All warfare is class warfare," and I think that that's true of the conflicts in this play. Like everything, it's not necessarily what they're talking about, but the social status and the social considerations for the characters certainly play into their ups and downs.
Yeah, I definitely frame it as status, or even just status insecurity. And as we talk about their progression, there's highs and lows in that. And I think that, again, that's something that I think a lot of people will relate with, right? There are moments when you got the money, and then there's moments when you don't. And I think that there's a power dynamic that starts to happen between these two friends in terms of who's up and who's down, which is, there's a parallel to who's winning and who's losing.
And it's about two young men who become two men, and the things they think they want at the beginning. The ambitions that they have. That's one of the things that brings them together is ambition, and how those change and how priorities change as we have life experiences.
Yeah, there's ambition. I think there's competition, right? Again, when you're following sports, it's like you're in that competition culture, that I think that there is a little bit of that happening with them, of again, who's up and who's down, and there's ladies involved and things like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, how do you watch a sports team and then be happy for another team who's winning? What is the collaborative nature of sports, and what is the competition of collaboration?
Does success matter to these characters?
The characters have very different relationships to the notion of success. I will say this, the play begins with a negotiation. You asked about money, and it begins, one of the characters has a set of season tickets to LeBron's rookie season. We're halfway through the season. He's got the rest of the season package, and he's selling it. And so it begins with that kind of a negotiation. And part of the reason why he's selling the tickets is because he has made a bad business decision and has failed. So it does start that way. They have very, very fixed ideas about where their life is headed. And then we see that life doesn't always go the way you intend or expect.
Yeah, and I think as they get older, I think they start to define success and redefine success in different ways. Or even, this idea of reaching what you thought was going to be successful and then still being unhappy. I think all that is in there.
And also that idea that I love of when you're younger and you make a promise to yourself, when I'm this, I'm going to do that. And then you keep that promise, or you don't. And it doesn't become, it's not important anymore. But in the play, we have those promises are articulated, and it's interesting to see the characters and how they fulfill or don't fulfill those.
These tickets seem to have more than a monetary value.
There's even a line in there where he's like, man, I could frame these, I could hang these up. So it's not just a ticket. It becomes about an experience, right? It becomes about a moment, And when my character Sean first gets a chance to feel the tickets and stuff like that, there's this deep sense of joy, almost ecstasy, if you will, So yeah, it's much more than just a sheet of paper.
And my character needs money. My character Matt needs money, and he wants to sell these tickets for as much money as he can get. But at the same time, he needs to know that they're going to be appreciated by the person who gets them. These are good seats. These are the seats I've been sitting in since I was 6 years old. So I don't want some bandwagon fan coming here who just wants to see LeBron. I want someone who's going to appreciate the whole culture of the Cavaliers.
Well, I will say this. We are so lucky to have Darian and David here because there aren't better actors, really. And so to get to watch these two in a two-hander, you're really getting to see MVP style acting.
King James at Kitchen Theater Company begins previews on Wednesday, October 15th and Thursday, October 16th with Name Your Price tickets for previews available in person at the box office. Play opens Friday, October 17th, runs Wednesdays through Sundays until November 2nd. Evening curtain time is 7 o'clock, matinee curtain is 2 o'clock. The play runs just under 2 hours with an intermission. The play is recommended for audiences ages 12 and up. Tickets are available at kitchentheater.org or by calling 607-272-0570. Margaret, Darian, David, thanks for joining me to talk about Kitchen Theater Company's production of King James.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.